More than 70% of adults carry invisible traumas. And here's the scary part. Most of these emotional wounds were caused by something seemingly small. Words they heard as children, phrases that, at the time, might have seemed harmless, playful, or just part of daily life, but that left deep, lasting marks that are hard to erase. Maybe you're listening to this now and wondering, do I carry those wounds too? The honest answer, for most people, is yes. Words like "you never do anything right," "why can't you be like your brother," "you're lazy," "you'll never amount to anything," sound minor in the moment, but the emotional damage they cause can last for decades. A child's brain is like a sponge. Everything they hear from the adults they trust, parents, grandparents, teachers, they absorb as absolute truth. They don't yet have the emotional maturity to filter, question, or put things into perspective. What adults say becomes the child's inner voice. Now think with me. If, since childhood, someone kept telling you that you're incapable, that you're a problem, that you're always in the way, how would you grow up? Most likely, as an adult with low self and an inner critic that never stops. And the most painful part, many of these phrases come from people who love us. Parents who were only trying to educate, but ended up creating emotional scars. Parents repeating the same patterns they heard from their own parents. A cycle passed down from generation to generation. And it needs to stop. And here is something even more surprising. It is not just aggressive or offensive phrases that cause trauma. Sometimes, even well-meaning compliments can damage a child emotionally. Phrases like, "You're so smart you can't make mistakes," or "You're the pride of this family, never disappoint us." The weight of expectation can be just as destructive as harsh criticism. So what happens when these kids grow up? They become adults who live to please others, who fear being seen, who prefer to quit before trying, just to avoid failing. They become people who struggle to say no, who feel responsible for everyone else's happiness, and who carry guilt that isn't even theirs. How many times have you caught yourself repeating a phrase you heard in your childhood? How many times have you been overly harsh with yourself because of patterns you don't even remember where they came from? The good news, recognizing these phrases, these internal voices, is the first step toward breaking the cycle. Understanding that the voice telling you you're not good enough isn't really yours. It was planted there, built over years of repetition, but it doesn't have to stay with you forever. And more importantly, now that you're aware of this, you can choose what kind of words you'll leave as an emotional legacy for your children. You can be the adult who stops the cycle, who praises with responsibility, who guides without humiliating, who corrects with love, not with words that wound. If you're a parent, an uncle, an aunt, or a teacher, think carefully before you speak. Your words have weight. They can build or destroy. One badly chosen sentence, said in a moment of anger, can become a lifelong trauma for a child. Emotional education starts with word choice, with being mindful of labels, with recognizing your child's emotions, with having the patience to teach, without yelling, without humiliating. Today, more than 70% of adults are battling daily against internal voices they never chose to hear. People terrified of failure because they were called failures. People are unable to value themselves because they grew up hearing they weren't worth anything. But from today forward, you can choose a different path. You can look inward and identify the phrases that still hurt. You can start rewriting your story. And most importantly, you can make sure the next generation grows up hearing words that heal, not words that harm. Your words carry power, and now that power is in your hands. If this content touched you in any way, leave your like, write in the comments what you felt, and share it with someone who needs to hear this today.